Hi everyone, this is Muhammad Amir Khan back with another video. In this video, we are going to understand types, what is function and what are the types of functions. Okay, so now we are into SQL practice SQL part 3. Okay, so part 1 and part 2 I have already uploaded, and this is part 3. So in this part, I have decided to cover on functions. So basically, we have two types of functions: system defined and user defined. So we are going to see both of them now. In system defined, again, we have two: scalar and aggregate function. And in user defined also we have like single valued and multi valued. So I'll explain that in detail. So to be honest, it's very simple if you watch this video completely. So it's one of the important concepts in SQL. So one should know how to create SQL in SAP HANA, how to navigate it, and how to what is the syntax and all. So I'll show everything in this video. So be with me until the end of this video. Okay, so let's get started. So now, if we tell function, what is function? So function is simply like a reusability of the code. Okay, so we write some 3 to 4 lines of code, for example, and we may require the same code again and again in several functions or the single function itself. So if you want to reuse that code which we require multiple times, then it's better to create a function or table function. Okay, and use that function at other places wherever you require. So if you want to perform similar task again and again, so you cannot you instead of writing the same code again and again, you can just create a function which performs the same task. Okay, so basically inside function we write SQL scripting, so to achieve some complex scenarios. Okay, to do some logical or logical complications, like calculations. Okay, so we'll see that. So functions are of two types again. So they are scalar function and user defined function. In scalar function we have sorry, system defined function we have scalar function and aggregate function. Okay, so something more about table function. So we can only use the DDL commands, which means only selects are allowed. No DML commands are not allowed, like insert, delete. Those things are not allowed here. Only DDL commands are allowed. Usually, select statements are used inside the table function or function. Okay, stored procedures are not allowed here, since stored procedures uses input in creation insertion of data inside a table, right? So however, whatever it is, so table stored procedures are not allowed inside the table function. And input parameter and output parameters are not mandatory. We have an option to use this facility, but it's not mandatory. It's up to our requirement. And table function at least return one output. Okay, it may return one column or one field as an output, one value as an output, or it may return multiple values with multiple records also as an output. But at least it returns at least one column, okay, or one field or one value. At least it returns something. Okay, we'll see that. So what is scalar function? Scalar functions operate on a single value and return a single value. So we have few functions which operate on a single value and also returns single value as an output. Okay, let's see. So we are dealing with system defined functions now. In that, first one is scalar function. Scalar function means it accepts single value as an input and returns single value as an output. So similar to this. So lower is a function which takes a single string, okay, which takes some value, and that value converted will be converted into a lowercase and returns as an output. Okay, same thing, trim and round. So when I execute this one, and you can see that definition which I just said matches here. So we have taken one string, okay, single out input, and we are displaying single output. Okay, here also same. So I'm taking the single input, single string, and trimming the left spaces and displaying single output. Okay, so this is the same way I'm rounding off my decimal value with the round keyword. So all these are system defined, okay, with two decimal points, single input, single output, input and single output. Okay, so this is one of the types of functions. So it's a system defined function. It takes a single value as an input and returns a single value as an output. Okay, perfect. So again, going back to the other one, in system defined function, that is scalar aggregation function. Okay, so in system defined function, we have one more, that is aggregate function. So aggregate functions operate on collection of values. Okay, it's not single value, it's a collection of values and returns a single value. Okay, as an output. So it's something like minimum, maximum. So it works, or it occurs on on several values and find the minimum of it. Okay, so when I execute it, so let me also show you the data inside it to understand it clearly. Select start from table. When I execute for select statements. So VBAP is having some five fields with amount, item, location, S name and S number. So in this, what I'm doing, I'm taking a maximum of amount column. So amount column have several inputs, several values, and it returns only one value, which is the maximum of the value, like 999. Okay. So what was the definition? It takes multiple collection of values as an input and returns single value. So it's taking multiple values in input, these many values, and it summing up and giving so it's checking the maximum of all the values and displaying it the same way, minimum and also sum of amount. So here it's aggregation functions. This function max, min, sum, these are the aggregation functions. This operates on collection of values. So the maximum of amount means we have several amounts, from which I have to take the max of amount. Okay, so multiple inputs and only a single output. This is one of the types of system defined functions, that is aggregation functions, which takes multiple inputs and returns only one output. Okay, let's go ahead. Now, if user defined function, okay, and there are two types of functions in system defined functions, which we have already seen. Now comes to user defined function. In user defined function also, we have two types. One is scalar, in which we have single value as an input and single value as an output. Okay, it returns single value as a result of action performed by the function. We return any type of data. So any it can be any type of data. Okay, so here I'm creating one table and inserting some data into it. So what this table has is, yeah, let me write the schema name, since I have not set the schema name in this particular window. So now execute. So employee to have some four entries. So now uh, I've created this table. So I want to create a table function now. So in which I want to take, I want to create a table function which have only one output. Okay, which have only one output. So let me create a table function now. So going into development perspective. So to create any sort of SQL objects like table function stored procedure, better go to development perspective and go to repositories and create the table function. How to create it? I've already shown it in other videos on how to create table function, and shown you number of scenarios, like practical scenarios also. So you can go and visit the table to get more insights on how to create table function, and with some real-time scenarios. Okay, so table function underscore. What is my table function? Like demo one, for example. Demo one. So finish. So it gives me this a template of the table function. So between begin and end, I need to write my logic, and after returns, I need to write my variables. So what was that? So there is nothing. So there is employee ID which I'm returning with the data type integer. So I need to write this. And next is I need to return this one. Okay. So I'll just copy all these things better. What time? Okay, so I'm writing returns table with field name what I want to return as an output. As we said, it should be at least one value or one field to be written as an output. That is for sure. So we cannot leave it as a blank. So okay, follows by the data type. Then this will come automatically by default. So here I need to write return after begin keyword. Next I need to write my coding. So in this table function, I'm concatenating two strings, first name and last name, and creating a new name, a new field called as full name. Okay. So here it should be full name. F U L full name. Okay. So it should be and where some 30. Let me try executing this one. So perfect. So table function has been created. So in this we have only one output. Okay. So only one field. So this is one of the user defined table function. So how to check the data or the output of this table function? Just take the uh, table name, sorry, table function name like this and write a select statement, select star from this demo one. So see, I'm concatenating first name and last name. So as we have seen what this table has first name, last name, right? So when I execute this table, you have first name and last name. I'm concatenating these two and giving the full name. Okay. So here there's a small correction. So it should be full name. Okay, fine. So next, so select star from. So this is how we use the table function. Okay, this string. Okay, next I'm creating this is a similar kind of table function, but this can be created in the catalog folder. So go to the modeling perspective and create. Now we have created in the development perspective, right? So we can do it in the modeling perspective as well. So just simple, what we need to do is we need to just copy this SQL and paste it here. So we need to specify our schema name correctly along with the table function name. So that's it. So when you create it, it will sit in the catalog, but not content. Okay. So I can see inside the catalog folder under the table form. We have used this 505 schema, Muhammad underscore 05 and your function. All right. So this is one of the ways to create table function in the catalog folder, and one way is to create in the development perspective, navigating to uh, create navigating all the way and create the table function as I have shown. There are two ways. So better to create it in the development perspective only. It's transportable and we have much more benefits of creating table function in the development perspective. So the ones which we are creating in the catalog perspective does not support few properties. So this is one thing. So next, going back to our content. So this is done. So now how to drop a function this way. So if you drop a function, everything goes like your function name and everything, like a function does not appear in the system. So when I execute this table function, this when I execute this string, this will be gone, like table 2 will be gone. Okay, so execute. So executed. So this is dropped successfully. Now I will refresh and table 2 is gone. So this is how we can drop our function. Drop function and name of your function with the path of your function. Okay. So here now table value function. So in this it will return more than one field. Okay. So we have seen the output with one field only, that is full name. Okay. Now here we have one more type of function in user defined function, that is table value function, in which we return more than one field. Okay. See, this is how we can do it in the catalog folder. As I shown, you need to write everything manually, and you are returning more than one value here. So that is what I'm telling you. So returning table that is more than one value, one field. So this is the table value function, and this can also be created in the more development perspective. All right. So there is one more thing I want to highlight here. So this is a table function with input parameter. Okay. You can execute. You can navigate in the development perspective to create a table function, as I have shown already multiple times. So you can use the input parameter field name, okay, along with data type, and you can use your input parameter in the where clause, so that you can write down the serial number at the runtime. Okay, so this is how you can write it. So select star from your table function name along with its path, and here you can pass the parameter as 4 or 5, whatever it is. So what it does is it executes this table function and performs this select and display only the data which is satisfying this where clause, where s number is equal to 4. So when I execute this one, see, only the number 4 is getting displayed. So this also comes, and okay, this is multi-valued. This is multi-valued. So this is what about table function. These are the basic things one should know for sure. So practice these things whatever I have shown, and you can find more on table function in my other videos which I have already posted. So you can go, and there I have given real-time scenario examples, okay, which is not related to any of my projects, or not related to any of my activities in the in my projects. So it is just created by searching like online, and finding some good concept, and just modify it and create it for you. Okay, thank you. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye bye.